I'm engrossed in the copy of B Local. I probably know this thing cover to cover by now.
All right.
Unless I can't. Probably not the copy, but I could. You say pull up this ad, pull up this page. I can probably pull it too.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, how's everybody doing this morning?
Oh, it's been an adventure.
You had a rough weekend.
Yes. So you saw the photos. You saw the evidence.
I saw the evidence.
My alarm clock Friday morning was the ceiling collapsing in the master bath. It was basically like upstairs bathroom has leak, falls through to downstairs bathroom. And at 5:30 in the morning, just wet sheetrock and just like shit going everywhere. And shout out to SS Water Restorations.
SS Water Restoration.
They are definitely a candidate for Be Local.
They did a good job for you.
Oh, dude, it was one of those things where I literally am woken up by it, put in contacts to figure out like what the hell's going on. And then there's just wet sheetrock everywhere. And clearly it's dripping, you know, so like valve or whatever went sideways. I go upstairs, there's all underneath the tile. It's like squishy. And it's just like, oh shit. So I ask GPT, what up AI? I ask them, hey, you know, best, I give my exact address and like, give me the highest rated in the radius here, blah, 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 whatever. Comes back with, those guys were the ones that came up and they answered the phone. So it's like 6 a.m. And within an hour and a half, I got the dude there cutting sheet, like just bang, bang, bang. And then I sent them my insurance policy. Dude gets right back and's like, okay, you're good. And he literally, it's like a horde of locusts just descends, and it's just been like this ridiculous weekend of they cut out the sheetrock and like what was a hole that was like a 2x4, you know, ceiling tile or whatever is now a gigantic.
The entire
oh yeah,
ceiling,
it's a whole piece. Of, it's like
just
nine,
like you get margin, like cutting out cancer. You get
4
the
by
margins,
9,
right?
Sheet or 4x8 sheetrock is just gone.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, well, that was unexpected. And, you know, they were just all over it. And it's almost dry now. So it was like, they came on Saturday and it's like, oh yeah, you got about 25% left and it should be done by Monday afternoon. So they'll come back this afternoon and check it. And then they were great. The insurance adjuster was shockingly cool. And like, oh, you've already done the mediation or whatever they call it. And I'm like, yeah, I just, that's what came up on ChatGPT. And he's like, oh, good, you know. And so, wow, I think everything's covered. And I told you before, it's like, ironically, I'm in the process of doing a refi, and I got the insurance coverage that I did because it's necessary for the refinance or whatever. I moved from Geico to Allstate like 3 weeks ago, and had I not done that, I'm like, wow, okay, that's crazy. But the kicker is, just the ass kicker was 3 hours before the appraisal was supposed to get there, the ceiling falls in. So needless to say, we have postponed, and it really always comes down to the entrepreneurial roller coaster of, can you stand the pressure? Because like this was going to, you know, do a lot of things and solve a lot of problems, or not solve a lot of problems, but give a lot of runway. Now that's delayed. And so what I thought, because Texas has this, this gave me nightmares when I was a mortgage guy. They have a 12-day cooling off period whenever you do a cash out in Texas. It's by law. So like, even if everything, like if by some strange chance the angels smiled on you in the appraisal and everything, and they said like, you can close this afternoon, you know,
there's a waiting period.
Yeah, there's a waiting period. So that's what I'm doing. And wow. Yeah. So how was your weekend?
Better, remarkably better than yours. It doesn't take a whole lot.
I was going to say, you could have gotten your ass kicked in the parking lot.
No, I think we spent most of Saturday doing Christmas. So we put up our,
I saw that.
We put up some Christmas lights, and that was good. Luckily, this year I don't have a 2-story house. So 1 story, 8-foot ladder gets me all the way around most of the roof. I only had to get on the roof one time. And so that was really good. And the house looks great. It's a little early for Christmas for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
But so somebody was telling me the other day, like, hey, if it brings you joy, who cares? Like, if you,
that's fair.
You know, like if you like, who cares? And it looks nice in the neighborhood. It's not like we're putting like a dumpster out front. Like it looks really nice, and we're happy with it. It's cool to drive home and you drive in, you got the Christmas lights up.
Right on.
I haven't done that in a few years just because we haven't had the house, the time, the energy. You talk about like pressure and derailing, right? The personal stuff goes by the wayside when you're a small business owner, right? And
well, yeah,
a lot of times
when it's like you don't use the upstairs bathroom for 10 years, and all of a sudden the ceiling falls in.
And a lot of times that the pressure that comes from those external forces, the personal life stuff, right?
That's
because you can run this like a well-oiled machine. We have systems and processes, and we've got, you know, we can absorb some pain in different places and adjust, and this system's meant for that, but nobody plans for the collapse.
Well, and when you have like a thing that's kind of a linear thing that you're like, oh man, you know, oh wow, I fixed not fixing my credit, but I paid it off. So like, oh wow, I got a 781. Awesome. Everything goes through. Everything's copacetic. Appraisal scheduled. The ceiling falls in.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
And as I'm calling all of these, small businesses around, finding partners for Be Local, I'm finding more and more of that. Like as I reach a lot of the frustrations and pressure that a lot of people are having are these these external outside of their business. Like I'm dealing with dementia, my mom and dad, or I got a family member that's sick, or my son got in trouble, and I'm dealing with things that aren't business related, and I'm having to kind of realize, I guess, that.
There's a diplomacy there.
Give a little, I was just trying to give people grace. Like, so shout out to everybody that's running their business well and dealing with the crazy family stuff in the background and making it look easy.
On fire in the back. Just like
we were talking like my wife gets the brunt of that stress when it comes out, and she doesn't deserve it at all. But it can be hard. So what else? Yeah. So for Saturday we did lights. Sunday I was out at the lake with my mom. We got her a new golf cart. So she's had a golf cart that runs around this little lake community, and it's I showed you pictures. It's like a 1990s club car. It sometimes goes with speed. And then so we did the new thing. Like it's got all the seats face forward. It's got Bluetooth speakers, and I mean it's fancier than the inside of our
my
cars.
car.
Yeah, I mean it's fully legal. License plate, turn signals, the whole thing.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a street legal vehicle. Galaxy golf cars in Plano. Shout out to Galaxy Golf Cars.
Drive past them all the time. So like,
very very nice people. Kind of worked us through the whole process. We shopped around too, and they were fantastic.
Right on.
So he went out. We had a little hiccup I was supposed to pick it up on Saturday, and I actually picked up the wrong size trailer to like pick it up and bring it out to the lake.
Yeah.
And so the owner Eric walked up. He felt terrible that I had kind of shelled out some money for it, and he's like, tell you what, I'm going to just take it out on Sunday for you for free. 80 miles each way, so 160 miles round trip. He brought that out there, coached my mom through the whole thing, like showed her all the keys, where everything was, how to charge it, gave her tips, all of it, and then drove home. Spent the whole day doing that.
That's what we call customer service right there.
So like those are the type of people that I'm looking for to be partners in Be Local.
Well, and speaking of that, how did you feel about the accidental pep rally you got to sit in on the other day?
Oh my God! Oh God, last week, I did too, but we didn't get to talk about it. Yeah, so talk about being fortunate, right? So I'm a new one of the newest franchisees for N2, who has 6 publications that are great.
Yeah.
So they've got one for military families, got one for
that was a cool thing that like I didn't know anything about.
Yeah, so I'll talk about that for a second because it's important to kind of run through everything they do because they all serve a specific group. So that you've got Salute that deals more closely with like military families. You've got Uniquely You, which is a newer publication that focuses on families with special needs. So and you met Bobby. Bobby's kind of, I think.
Bobby was the one.
They have Greet and Stroll, which are more neighborhood focused, right? And then Real Producers, which you obviously are are very,
which
very
was how we got to the dance in the first place.
Which is how I learned about, how I got to meet everybody and learn about this. And then Be Local, which is a very different publication because it goes to different people every month. So you're only the people you're trying to bring new movers into the fold and help them be more successful.
Help them be local,
assimilate better, and by showing them the best local things to do, the best
kind of
places
like
to go.
The handbook of your new neighborhood.
Yeah, it is a book. It is a coffee table piece that serves as a guide for new movers. Kind of once you get everything unpacked and settled, there's 3 stats that I like to tell the people we sit down with. One is that over 70 new business relationships are going to be made when they make that move. Everything from an optometrist to a pediatrician to a dog walker to somebody to help fix the fence, home repairs, maybe those little things that the seller didn't concede to, but you're like, oh, I'll paint those cabinets, right? 72 new business relationships on average. They are also 5. I've heard 5 and 10 times, so I know that's broad, but they're much more likely to go with that first business they're exposed to, because all things are equal, right? I don't have the word of mouth. I don't have. It's kind of
there's
whatever.
No trusted opinion. There's no advisor.
I might ask a neighbor, but then if you're a business trying to get new customers, it's a crapshoot on like, does your neighbor use that lawn guy or just
exactly
whatever? Yeah.
Does your neighbor even know that my company exists?
Yes, exactly. And what's my third stat? 72 new business. My favorite. Oh yes, new movers spend more in that first 6 months than they will in the next 3 years. I think we talked about that last week, right? Because I replaced my floors when we first moved in April. There's a lot of spending that happens in that first 6 months. So it's important to get in front and capture those people when they don't know anybody and they don't know where to go. So that's what Be Local as
the cool thing for me
is all about.
Shout out to JP. He rocked it, man, all day long. You know, the cool thing for me was hearing the stories of everybody that he interviewed. You know, you get to be a fly on the wall. And just like you were saying a minute ago, everybody that is in the entrepreneurial sphere, they're usually taking on water of some sort, or literally, like Friday morning, all the time. And it just doesn't show. And so hearing all the stories of, because it was a wide swath of the United States that came in for that deal. And the interviews where, you know, how many no sales, how many, you know, just hearing stuff where you go like, okay, woo. And I think one of them was like 61 or so. It was just, it was crazy.
One like 0 for 80 or something.
It was just off the chain. And yet here they are, you know, fast forward however long chronologically. And then here they are at this national retreat for leadership where they persevered, because like, you know, going over 80, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
That is like tough sledding. And then to hear them now where it's like, you know, I try to do this now where it's like, okay, I know that this is part of the story that I will tell later, where it's like, oh yeah, the appraiser was going to come and the ceiling fell in, you know, and
Kat
all
calls
that.
it the second type of fun. So we've got two types of fun in our house, and there's only everything that happens in our lives is there are two types of fun. It's the type of fun we have when we're doing it, and the type of fun we have when we're telling that story, that terrible story.
Yes.
Of like oh my god, and my roof fell in, and like second type of fun.
Yeah, oh, dude, I'm gonna totally pilfer that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, because I developed that as part of like the whole networking thing or whatever, where there would be things that I just categorically did not want to go to. A lot of it where it involved like drinking or like just like chaotic shit like that. And it's like, okay, this is one that I will be glad that I went later, you know, and I'm just gonna power through it. And that's currently where I'm at now, where it's like, okay, a lot of things, like you said earlier, I dodged a lot of bullets on the ceiling falling in, but it like, dude, it derailed the plan, and that's what like just throws me.
Yeah.
But I'm shockingly well adjusted at the moment.
Yeah, you look like you handled the bear the weekend, be coming in like just like dirty clothes,
oh, dude,
unkempt hair, just like I don't care
there's
anymore.
something about doing like grown up shit like that where I'm like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know I had that in me. All right, there you go.
Full level adulting.
Yeah, exactly. And to be like, I'm filing a claim with the adjuster, you know, and just the ridiculous shit where you hear other people go, and it's like, it's just white noise. And you're like, oh, that's a thing. And then just the logistics, and it's like, I've had these like, you know, it sounds like an airplane, like a jumbo jet taking off in my condo. In every room, because
you can live there though, right? You're going to live there through the renovation.
Yeah, because in reality, the damage is really nothing. It's just the sheetrock in the ceiling of the downstairs bathroom, and then the entire floor of the upstairs bathroom. But it was like a postage stamp. It was like a teeny tiny.
When I had my water break, they had to put me in a apartment for like 6 months.
Bro.
Yeah. Like, because they had to redo the whole downstairs. It didn't, like, there was no kitchen. There was there was nothing.
Wow.
So that whole downstairs was empty for
okay,
months and
knock
months
wood.
and months.
Or
no,
imitation wood. Yeah.
It was actually fine. They put me in a nice apartment. It was comfortable. It was kind of a life adjustment for a little bit, and kind of remembered what it's like to be apartment living. Now the difference was because of the nature of my job at the time. Like I was doing 3 or 4 like real estate shoots a day, and so it was the gear. Like I'd have to schlep the gear down like a long hallway, down the stairs, down out to the car, and then schlep it back up. And it was just
I just left it in the trunk.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm finding, if that's the things I'm complaining about, things are pretty good.
Yes. I have princess problems by and large,
for sure. What else? So we
tomorrow.
So N2 was fantastic. I derailed us. I'm sorry.
No.
I was in an incredibly unique position as the newest franchisee to get to see like behind the scenes and like and interact with a lot of the leadership that I totally realized like that's not a normal thing.
Yeah, and like, hey, I'm gonna hang out with the CEO.
So yeah, like how lucky am I to sit here and like be able to pick the brain of all of our leadership, including the CEO, and spend quality time. And he was able to kind of give me some feedback, which I thought I sent him an email with the clip. So at the end after we started talking and stuff, and him knowing that I'm a brand new to Be Local, he was kind of evaluating my temperament, my tone, and everything. And he was just like, this is, maybe it's really easy to get excited. And I love your passion. And I see a lot of me and like when we go after this, and this is kind of his nice way of saying like, calm down.
Yeah.
He's like, I see your passion, but like, maybe we dial it back to a more more relaxed. And I was like, because I get so excited, I was like, I got to show you a clip because you're not the only person that thinks this, because
Right.
I think this as well. And,
and it was cool to like, and then at the end, you got to be the off-camera subject of him just telling stories.
oh yeah, I just got to sit there while he told all of his favorite stories of kind of
His actual-
his ramp up, of his experience in my position. It was a very cool.
Yes.
It just very fortunate.
Yeah,
for
and
me.
I was glad, I was happy for you just to be able to be like, wow, this is cool.
Kid in a
You know,
candy store, man.
Yeah, and to be able to just kind of like walk. I always liken stuff to like that first Pirates of the Caribbean movie where the ship is sinking and Johnny Depp just walks off of the mast onto the dock. It's like I've done that so many times in my life, and like walked into a place where ostensibly, and even maybe a little bit deeper than that, I had no business being there. It's like, how did I get here?
Yeah, it's
You know,
like, I should not be in this room.
Yeah, I just said yes the day before, the day before yesterday, and here I am. Just like whenever I was affiliate chairman at Metrotex, it felt like I'd been there for 5 minutes. And everything just sort of lined up. And when they called, I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'll do it. And, then fast forward, and it's like, wow, I can't even believe, like, they caught me at the right time on the right day to just say, and just, okay. And then everything that came after that, a lot of that is how I got here, and then to see, so we were just talking before we went live about, okay, now let's incorporate studio content with like because I'm curious to see how digital content and print, especially when it's very like drilled down a niche, how that can be like a force multiplier that people wouldn't normally think of.
Yeah.
And the other thing was talking to JP and Bobby and everybody that came in, they got so excited about just the whole synergistic thing. And then, it's like, okay, well, I already had the experience of doing it for 6 years with Jordan, and just seeing how all of that just kind of, it ramps. And then at the end, you're like, whoa, shit, we're at an event and there's like 1,000 people here and there's pyro.
Flames shooting out of the stage.
There's
You're
like
how did we get here?
color-coded balloons and pyro and a giant flashing thing, and that, the first year that it was just over the top, I think I had 6 people. So we had like a 6-person crew. We even recruited Lance's son to like man one of the cameras on a tripod. So from starting out where, when I met Jordan, it was just North Dallas. It was literally whoever he could wrangle. And it started out like super thin as far as like the actual hard copy.
Yeah.
And it's like this now. So, I mean, it's like, I'm stoked. And it was cool to have you there. And it was cool to kind of get a bigger view of, there's 6 different publications and there's like a whole family of things that are kind of interconnected. And it got me thinking like, I like the Veterans magazine thing.
Yeah, Salute is very cool. Uniquely you as a soft spot. I love the idea of being able to like bring a community of like special needs together, and like I think that's
Well, and I was going to talk to I can't remember the gal, but the gal that was beside us on day 1 at the convention. So she was the one who like pulled you into the cult.
Yeah,
as it
Beverly.
will. Yeah, Beverly. So she came in, popped in for a second, and then I was like, okay, well, I want to talk about like what because I was curious as to what all was still available for Vegas, because I'm really interested in pre-COVID. Jordan and I had looked at and had done probably 3 months worth of the magazine as a show, where every feature was a video segment that then would get transposed and morphed into an actual magazine feature versus the other way around, versus like, we talk.
You started with the interview. Like the interview happens in every magazine feature. There's an interview that happens.
Yes.
Usually Jordan does it. Is that
So back then, Jordan would literally conduct the phone interview and then send it off recorded to be transcribed.
so instead we just do it?
Yes.
here,
And I was like, well,
this.
why don't we just sit down and do it as a show? And then we transcribe the show, and you can have an editor or a VA or whatever. They weren't really VAs back then. But you can have an assistant or an editor actually make it an article.
Yeah, write the feature out of the show. I mean, at least gives you a framework of what you're going to talk about.
And that would overlap, and then we had to a system where he would do teasers and he would do, but COVID happened, and so the studio was already put out of business by the time, because if we're doing a show right now, well, it won't see print for at least 3 months, if not longer. You know, because if they've got like a rising star stacked already, and it's like, okay, you're the rising star for April.
Oh yeah, when I was at Elevate, people were talking to me that they're on the magazine in months and months in the future.
Yeah,
so like
3
they
months
know
minimum.
Yeah.
So they have it all in the can, so that way it can go to print and everything can be dialed in. So we were doing that. We were like 3 to 4 months ahead of what was actually going to get published, or when it was going to get published. So COVID happened and that blew it up, and the brick and mortar actually got closed because they were not an essential business. And so I never got to find out what that would look like if everything coincided. So we would have had, you know, theoretically, we would have had all of the content in the can. Then the magazine goes out and you have the video features, the teasers, the clips, and shit, dude, I didn't have 25% of what we've got now as far as the tools and the studio. And because like back then I was partnered with these guys and making it up as we go, which is kind of the fun part. You know, that's the right now fun of it a lot of times. But we were making it up as we went, and there was no Opus clips. There was no, 4K cameras that could, be moved around and put on monopods or whatever.
The tools we have now, it's pretty crazy.
It's ridiculous. Like tomorrow, like the tools we have where we're going to do like a little mini road show at the Far North Realtor meeting with the gals that are going to have the event on December 1st, where it's like, okay, well, don't really have a plan other than I just like hanging out with them, and I love when they're like doing shit, and to be able to give them the mic and be like, hey, just promote your thing or whatever, and we'll put together the set because the grid came yesterday.
Nice.
So we'll experiment with that and hang the light and everything, and so we'll see how that goes. But like none of that stuff existed originally. Whenever I was trying to do anything, like we were trying to do a podcast in a gigantic studio out on the other side of where the Dude Perfect guys are in Frisco, and the studio was killer. But man, it was an undertaking just to get everything lined up. Where now we can kind of go guerrilla style, or take it on the road if necessary. We learned that at the where you got to be local.
Yeah, it works really well.
Yes,
for sure.
And then I think that's about it for this week.
Yeah, weather's going to get bad. I've got me and Cruz are going to tag team a really big property on Friday, but it looks like the weather's going to go bad. So we're going to see we'll see what happens.
Call an audible.
Yeah. I mean, at that price, when you start getting to like 10, 13, 15,000 square feet, and you get over $10 million, it becomes we start picking days, specific days, specific times of days to shoot certain shots. I mean, we'll go in and we'll look at a living room and be like, this can't be shot till 4:30. Right, like just because of where the sun is and like how the windows are and the way the light's behaving, and a lot of this, we can't control the sun. It's the biggest lighting that we have, and we've got very little control, so we just have to work with it. Yeah. So anyway, that's the only other big thing we've got, I think, this week. I think
so. Yeah, there's tomorrow, and then
I mean with some Coldwell Banker folks on Wednesday. I know we've got. Brian and Brenda are coming in on Wednesday morning
for their second go around
to do another go around for the subject matter expert, which is great to see them drip that out.
Yes.
And for people that just tune in sometimes, like we really specialize in long form to short form. So like that's where most of the in the studio podcast standpoint, like we host these podcasts, but the real value. I don't know how many people. Maybe we have a couple hundred people max like watch a good chunk of this. Yeah. But I have a lot more people when we chop it into like, give me 15 seconds of Rick saying something, a little slice with captions, and then you actually get some momentum, and you can drip that out.
And then it also helps to have Ashley as a loose cannon in any of your content. Just for those of you out there that are needing a spare loose cannon or your own loose cannon, she is available. Because I made an account for the unemployed, but we've done 2, and they were getting thousands of views, and I'm like, what the hell, bro? Because a lot of that stuff I don't really have time to maintain it, so I will set it up, and then I'll give the login and the password to the VAs and be like, hey,
start posting stuff. I mean, I see that all the time.
Start blasting. And so the plan for 2026 is to be way more intentional on all that stuff, because now we have such a massive body of content. Like the proof of concept is there, and I'll be interested in again marrying the magazine with the digital content and seeing what else is, because I'm not sure. I don't know that there is a Dallas Be Local.
So there is right now there is Rockwall And we just pulled these up. Here, Find My Be Local.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this. Find My Be Local. We have Texas. I just had just the Rockwell up, so I'll just do TX doesn't work.
Will it do our location? Oh, there
maybe,
you go.
but I'm just going to do this so we can see all of them. So we've got Amarillo, Leander, Georgetown, not us, Hayes County. So Northeast Tarrant County.
So
And Rockwell County,
South Lake,
Yep.
and West Lake.
I think we will have one. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the ones we've got spinning up, but we will have another one local west of us, closer to the other studio, very soon.
Oh, right on.
I would say, but I don't know if I'm allowed to. So,
Okay, well that's a good enough hint.
Yeah,
but like there, Lubbock, really, South Lubbock, what?
Yeah, so-
now the Woodlands. Okay, that's fancy Houston.
Be Local's still growing like crazy because it's one of the newer publications. It's only 5 years old, 6 years old.
Oh, okay,
If that, Yeah,
okay.
so there's about 100, a little north of 100 around the United States. I'm really excited that it doesn't have the presence here in North Dallas that it does, because it's nothing but opportunity for us and our business partners to
Agreed.
actually spread the word and expand a little bit. So, yeah, and we'll continue to look for partners. Once we're in print, we'll continue to look. You talked about Jordan's starting out like this.
Oh yeah, it was like a
wanna
pamphlet.
Yeah, we are not an ad book, right?
No.
This is
It's
a
not
content
like
book.
green sheets or whatever.
Yeah, so we are delivering value on places to go, things to do, best
Do you remember
businesses to
those
use.
big ass coupon books that were
Oh,
like?
they still have, not that big, but they still have them. I was at the Chamber of Commerce on Friday, and there's still people out there saying like, come get in the coupon book, come get in the ad book. I'm going to continue to look for more partners because I want this book to be more valuable.
Yeah.
If you look at we start with like 5 big features, like history, events, like I think it's sports and kids. For top of mind, I can't remember, but that continues to grow. So eventually, like if you look at the Rockwell County, they've got a whole section that's just like, I think it's like tennis and golf and tennis. And they've got a whole other section, like places to worship. And they've got sections that continue to grow.
So
in order to continue to give more value to new movers, I need to continue to find more people, because we do keep this publication like 60-40, 70-30 content.
Yeah, because I remember that was one of the things I was fascinated about with JP, where he's like, oh no, there is a finite amount of pages and a finite amount of space.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, maximize that. And then that's also interesting.
Yeah, and that's one thing JP was saying. One of the last things he said before we left, he's like, remind everybody, like, we will sell out. Like, there's going to be no more space for this at some point really soon. And my hope is by Christmas, December 15th is my time where I'd like to have all of my core partners set up to where we have enough to go to print if we need to, with the ambition of being able to add another segment or two by getting a few more partners in to justify adding like another section. Right?
Oh yeah, because every time you add it, print costs would go up.
Yeah, and so when we have those conversations, we always talk about like fixed ads, and is there ads that you want to, or a certain section that you want to support or be part of or be kind of stuck to, right? Like we've got like there's a kids section, and I was meeting with
so like if you had like a pediatric dentistry,
exactly. So something that's geared towards kids or kids events, like you look at like daycare or like sports, gymnastics, like that stuff. But then there's like little like putt golf, or like there's all sorts of like
family oriented stuff, not specifically just where your customer is the kid.
Yeah, where the customer is. So it's strategically putting yourself places, and I want to look for partners that want to align themselves with specific types of content, so we can continue to grow and be a real value to the community.
Right on.
Yeah, and I want people that want to come do. And I was having this conversation this weekend. I was like, I'm not just looking. You're not just buying ad space here, because I'm going to call you and we're going to be doing community stuff. Like, and we're going to be coming on the podcast and educating people. If I asked you to come in ABC Fencing and talk about fencing, we're not talking about ABC Fencing. We're talking about how we help the community.
Yeah, and you're talking about like, okay, I live in McKinney and my fence is jacked. What caused that? Like, or what? Because like now, dude, I look out the back door and, you know, I'm in far North Dallas, basically, it's Plano ISD. But I look out the back and it's like, what in the hell happened to the fence? Because it feels like they just replaced it like 5 minutes ago. And it's like now there's gaps in between what the boards used to touch. Now what?
Yeah, exactly. So like, John Doe pool guy. I don't want to come here saying I'm the best pool guy in the world. I want you to say like, hey, here's the chlorine levels we look at, and like here's some process. Yeah, if you've got this in your pool, let's look at this. Like, I want to be of value to the community. The advertising stuff is bonus.
Well, there's something like all of that gets me fired up just on the hyper local content, where it's like, you know, if you are coming in and it's like, hey, I'm in East Plano and my grass looks like shit. This is, and then somebody goes like, oh, that's because of, you know.
In the community. So we do have a whole social group too. So there will be, once we get closer to print, we will spin up all of our socials. And that would be a great place for the community to come in and ask questions and hit our
subject matter experts.
Hit our experts
Bam.
to come back. Like encourage them to stay active in that and continue to provide value outside of like continue selling themselves. I know we all need to make money, but serving our community
there's also
needs to be somewhere on our priority list.
My content machine fires up where it's like, okay, well now there's an interactive aspect where you go on Facebook or whatever and you go like, hey, people in Plano, McKinney, whatever, give me your top 10 issues you have with the pool or with the front yard or the yard that gets too much shade or not enough or whatever, because I'm going to have so and so on and.
Oh yeah, I mean we could post out to be like, hey, I'm gonna have so and so on, and we need what's 10 questions that I can ask him to, what do you need to know? What do you need to know from the best from a roofer, from a
Yes.
a pediatric dentist,
yes.
right? Yeah, I want to do a lot of that. I want to bring community leaders in here to talk about events and things that are upcoming in the community. I want to bring longtime local residents to come in. This is all written. Like I don't write this stuff. This is everything in the book is written by longtime locals. Like we recruit people that have been in the community forever. So written by longtime locals for new residents is kind of the strategy here. So anyway, we still couldn't be more excited. I woke up this morning and I was just like, let's go. Like this is like new week, new day. Be local. I walked in here and they already had the Be Local stuff up here, which made me feel really good.
Dude, I love it. I love it. It gets me fired up.
All right, 9:38. What else do we got?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Let's go get it.
Cool. Let's go get it. Take care. Have a good week.
Yeah.